Hey guys, Alicia here, coming to you from a new location, my kitchen. I know that I posted a video yesterday, but considering that video was just kind of fun and light and fluffy, I thought since I've had quite a few people ask about it, that I would go ahead and film the video on how to clean your makeup brushes because it is very important. A lot of people don't think about the fact that your makeup brushes touch your face. Obviously, there are naturally occurring bacteria and ooze on your face, and when you don't, you know, clean them, and when she's got a ukulele. And when you don't clean them regularly, that bacteria is just growing in your brushes, and then it's also being deposited back on your face. Also, another reason why you want to clean your brushes is because they get dirty and filthy with all of the product and everything else that, I mean, like, look at that, that you're putting on your face. When you don't clean your brushes, you might find that they're not working as well. So there are several different ways to clean your brushes, and it doesn't have to be a super complex, like huge ordeal. You can do this very simply. You can use whatever kind of soap that you have that you know works well for your skin. Like, you can use dish soap, you can use antibacterial hand soap, you can use baby soap, or you can buy those special soap cleaners or makeup brush cleaners, but you don't have to. You don't have to spend a lot of money. In between deep cleaning my brushes, which is what I'm going to show to you today, I do use just rubbing alcohol. This is the mint, spearmint scented kind, and I like to just spritz my brush with it and then take a microfiber cloth. I keep this one beside my makeup area, and I just like to swirl the brush gently on there, and that will help get rid of some just like residual stuff. I mean, you can kind of see where it was, and the brush already looks a lot cleaner. And that's also really quick drying. I like to do this if I'm doing someone's makeup, or if I'm doing a bunch of people's makeups, like I did for different like Christmas shows or whatever. That's a really easy way to clean and sanitize your brushes on the go without having to deep clean them. So that's one way to do it. Another cool, helpful tool that you don't have to have, but is worth a little investment. I got mine at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, is a brush cleaning mat. I think I paid like $4 or $5 for it. You can order these offline, but like I said, TJ Maxx and Marshall's have a lot of really cute ones for next to nothing. So that's a nice investment. Another thing that you really do need to clean often, at least once a week, is your makeup sponge. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get into this video. So I already have my little area set up. Today I'm using just foaming hand wash from my bathroom. I feel like it doesn't suds up as much, which means it's easier to get out of the brush, but it also has that wonderful antibacterial feature that we're looking for some of the deeper cleaning, or the deeper cleaning that I need to do with brushes that I use my foundation with or whatever, that I really want to break up the oil. I've got some olive oil and some dish soap. I've got a plate that I'm going to use for that. I've got my brush cleaning mat, which is going to go into my sink. And then I have a microfiber towel that I'm going to help get some of the excess water off of with. And then I've got like a drying area set up. I do have a cloth set up underneath this to kind of give it a little bit of a ramp, because you don't want water to get into this part, because this is what holds your brush bristles to the brush handle. So we're going to lay them this way. That way the water can kind of drip down, as opposed to getting into the ferrule, which is what this calls, which I think some of it has gotten into this one because this one's a little loose, but I'm going to re-glue that eventually. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to clean your makeup sponge. And what I like to do is I like to just go ahead and get it wet and squeeze some water into it, and then squeeze the water out of it. And then I'm going to take a little bit of dish soap, and I'm just going to slather that kind of on there and kind of work that in to the sponge. See, like, the stuff start to come out from the sponge. I mean, like, that's pretty gross, but I like to work that into there, and then I like to draw some hot water. Just like to put some hot water in a coffee mug and just submerge that sponge in there, kind of squeeze it a couple times underneath the water, and just kind of let it sit there for a couple hours, and that's really going to help it like just soak and kind of get rid of the yuck inside of the sponge. Okay, so deep cleaning your brushes, like I said, you don't have to do a lot of like crazy things, but like brushes like this that I use to put my foundation on, they get pretty grody pretty quickly, and what I like to do is take a little bit of dishwashing soap and then a little bit of olive oil. A little bit of olive oil on a plate side by side. Just like that, and it doesn't take much. And it's okay if they touch because we're going to swirl them together. And we're going to get that brush carefully holding it like this so that it doesn't, and I mean like it's not going to be perfect, but you can also just like put it down in the sink. But you're going to get your brush wet. And then you're going to take it and swirl it in this mixture, and that's going to really help break up any of that gunk in there. And once we have that, and once we kind of have that coated in the mixture, I'm going to take it down here to my scrub mat. My mat's already wet, and I'm just going to scrub. If you don't have a scrub mat, you can also just go very gently like this in your hand. It's going to take a little bit longer, but it does do a pretty good job of cleaning your brushes. But we're just going to go ahead and scrub that. And once you're ready to rinse, you're just going to want to make sure that you're running it very gently, water over there, and that you're trying to get, and that you're trying to get any soap residue out of your brush, because you don't want that on your brush, obviously. And right there we still have a little bit of a spot. I don't know if you can see. These toothbrush style brushes can be a real pain in the butt to clean. And sometimes they take several times cleaning. So don't feel bad if you've got to go back through and scrub again. Alright, I've gone and cleaned that again, and as you can see, that big spot that was there is now gone. And then we're going to take that cloth and just very gently run it back and forth. It's just going to go back here on our drying mat, which is back there in the corner where you can't see. These brushes, which are very important to clean, just like this one right here. Right. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just a little bit of warm water, just right here on your hand or in your sink basin, and just kind of get the tip of that brush wet, just like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my antibacterial soap, just like this, and I'm going to swirl it right here in my hand. You can also do it right here in the palm of your hand. Yeah. It's very similar if you've ever painted to cleaning brushes that you paint with. You're just going to want to swirl that around, just like that, until you feel like it's pretty clean. And then I like to squeeze that extra soap out, and we're going to run that water, and we're just going to rinse it out. Being careful, make sure that we're not getting the ferrule, whatever it's called, the metal part that connects the handle to the bristles. We don't want to get that wet.
No. Is that cold?
Really going to shake that water out, squeeze it out. And this is a good test to see if you've got soap left in your bristles, because if you do, right now when you squeeze it, you're going to see those bubbles come out. We're going to take that cloth again, just kind of swirl it around. And as your brushes dry, you're going to have to reshape them a little bit. So there we go. You're going to want to make sure that you smooth them down a bit. You can fluff them out, but you want to make sure that there's none of these bristles like going like crazy out out all over the place.
Maybe touch it.
No, it's wet.
Oh.
So there we go. There's a clean brush. So again, we're going to take it and we're just going to rest it back there. Some of the places that you're going to find the most grime and dirt and disgustingness is definitely going to be on your eyeshadow brushes, because you know you use lots, or at least if you're me, you use lots of color and all of that jazz. So
I'm gonna take a picture.
So once again, we're gonna get that brush tip nice and wet, and then I'm gonna use my mat for this. Just a little bit of soap over here on the cleaning, and we're just gonna go around.
Mom,
Just
you're
like that.
good.
Oh, thank you. There. Haha. Squeeze that extra out, and then rinse.
And rinse and squeeze it out.
And you're just gonna keep doing that
Yep.
until you've worked through all your brushes and they're all clean. All right. And as you can see, I've got them all laid out here for them to dry. And I put off brush cleaning as long as I possibly can. But yeah, you want to make sure that you kind of have them tilted down so that way they don't get ruined and they can dry with their handles up in the air so the water can drain out. You're just going to want to give them a little bit of time, like a couple hours overnight, and they will be nice and clean and ready for you to use. Also, if you find that your brush tip is like stuck together, you can just fluff it up by running your finger over it like this after it is dried to kind of loosen up the bristles. Alright, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you guys next week. Alright.